shrimpin' ain't easy. It ain't. Trust me, it ain't. Alright, what's up everybody? It is I, once again, your travel god of extreme Pity Joseph here for video number 2. Video number 2 on your Sunday night, May the 3rd, 2026. Thank you all for watching this particular video on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit the subscribe button down there. You know how it is, in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Show my other channels your love and support as well. All the links are down below in the gobbledygook. So do it now. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Just beat the crap out of it. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, well, you're pretty much SOL. I think we all know what that means by now. And if you don't know, you got problems. And that's that. So, like, share, subscribe. Once again, please hit that bell so you don't miss anything. And that's about it. Excuse me. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that nice, tasty, frothy, cold one. Put your stinky feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, well, fuck you, man. Go watch somebody else. But you'll stay here and watch me because you got nothing else to do with your boring fucking life. But for the real ones, you'll stay. For other ones that are obsessed, stalking bastards, you need to get a life. Seriously, before it's too late. And pretty much, for some of you, it is too late. Because if you're gonna be obsessed with me for 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 years, your life is gonna pass you by. Because you should be doing something else rather than worry about little old me. Just saying, because I don't obsess with anybody on this godforsaken website or in real life. And if you think otherwise, fuck you, because you can't prove it. And if you did, I still don't care. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday night, May the 3rd, 2026. Hope you had a great weekend. Back to work tomorrow to start the first official week of the great month of May. We are 3 weeks away from the unofficial start of summer, which is Memorial Day weekend of Memorial Day as well. So, we're getting there. Summer is fast approaching, ladies and gentlemen. One of my favorite seasons in the whole wide world. You know why? Because it gets hot. Go to the beach. See those ladies with that donga bikinis. That rhyme, by the way. So, vacations coming up. I don't know if I'm going to take mine yet, but we'll see how July and August come. And that's it. Can't wait for the warm weather. I mean, it's going to be 80 here on Wednesday, and then it's going to rain, and then kind of dip down a little bit. Back to seasonable weather. And then by, well, the week after this coming week, get back to about 65 degrees. The days are getting a little bit longer until we hit the summer. Pretty much as soon as we hit, like, June 20th to 21st, gets around 8:30, you know, the sun goes down around 8:30, close to 8:40, dark around 9, and then as soon as we hit July, it starts going down slowly, and then by October, it's around 6:30ish before we get dark again, and don't forget, and in November, the first Sunday in November, we turn it back, so it gets dark around a little after 5 o'clock, which sucks, and then you know what comes next. The fucking winter, blizzards, annoying crap with heating, you know, all that shit. So, I wish we had longer summers around my neck of the woods, but can't always get that. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we get an extended summer, and then we get a warm winter. We've had that, you know, from 2020 up till last year. Last year we got blitzed. It was disgusting. Got like 3 blizzards for the whole winter. It was just bad, and it was cold. It I mean, it wasn't too cold, but just couldn't shake snow. And finally, like around late March, April, like almost last month, we kind of started getting warm again. But April has always been a month of rain, and gonna get this month was about to start with some rain too. But at least it's not gonna be really cold. Like winter is still hanging on, unless you live in Denver. The Met game had to be changed from 8:40 Eastern Time to 5:40 Eastern Time because of inclement weather in Denver, and it's supposed to rain, maybe snow. Yeah, May. We're talking about snow in May in Denver. Crazy. So, see if the Mets, who won today, hey, finally won a series. They finally won a goddamn series, taking 2 out of 3 from the Angels, won 5-1. Swaggy V, Mark Vientos, wakes up. He's good, bad, really bad, good, bad. He's like Jekyll and Hyde, that guy. One day he's great, like today he hit 2 home runs, propelled the Mets to a 5-1 win, and then tomorrow he's gonna go 0 for 4. And Clay Holmes and McLean, who didn't pitch great yesterday, but because the bullpen stunk it up, but it is what it is. Him and Clay Holmes are the only 2 good pitchers on the Mets have right now, because everybody else is pretty much hurt or sucks. The Mets got so many injuries, it's just insane. But this, the way the ball bounces, basically. And we got that. The Knicks are going to face the 76ers on Monday at the Garden. The other Garden, but the Mecca, not the one in Boston, but should have been in Boston, but Boston. So the Knicks, game 1 against the 76ers in the semis, or the Eastern Conference semis, tomorrow at 8 p.m. on that great station of NBC. So, see what the Knicks can do with the 76ers, probably destroy them, and then we'll see what happens. We got Toronto and Cleveland today in Game 7. Also, we had the Magic, I think, beat the Pistons to go to the semis. So, Knicks fans, you're pretty much happy because I don't think anybody in that Eastern Conference can hang with the Knicks right now. But you never know. Anything can happen in the NBA. In the league where they play for something. Not like football or hockey, Hockey we play for pain, and football we play for pay. That's it. Baseball we just play for the same, pay for, we play for pay too, but it is what it is. Alright, enough about that. Alright, so we got all that. Alright, LFG is on now. I'm gonna watch it later. I did watch the end of the Von Erich biography that goes before LFG. Man, it is sad to see the curse of the Von Erichs biography. All the Von Erichs. I mean, the Von Erich family, great wrestling family, but man, they have been cursed. Kerry gone. I mean, I think the only living member of the original Von Erichs is Kevin. I mean, Lacey Von Erich's still around. Marshall and Ross, the new Von Erichs, basically. They're still around. But, what could have been with the Von Erichs? Kerry, the Texas Tornado and everything. We're talking about his WWF run when he won the Intercontinental title. Then he hurt his leg and everything. Hogan was on it, JBL. Talking about that injury he had, which pretty much ended his career and life. And, Kerry Von Erich in WWF was just bad. He just didn't look right. He should have just stayed with the NWA. What could have been with him in the NWA? But it is what it is. Just a sad biography. If you watched it early on A&E. If you haven't, go watch it. That's that. Speaking of going to watch, check out my last video, video number 1 of the day, my SmackDown review. No, I'm sorry, my NXT review on my Peter Joseph channel. Link is down below in the gobbledygook. Excuse me. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I still have a cough. I'm still a wreck. But I'm getting a little bit better. You know, each day I get a little bit better. This head cold, not a flu. I mean, I did have some stomach pain today, so might have just been a head cold turning into a stomach bug. But, no, doing okay. Don't have a fever. I've been checking my temperature since pretty much Friday. I didn't have a temperature Friday. Didn't have it on Saturday. Didn't have it yesterday. And then today, I haven't already checked it. Didn't check it much today. This morning was okay, but excuse me. But I feel okay. I'm just tired. You know, I didn't really do anything today besides clean. And Mrs. was a little bit under the weather too, so I had to take care of her. And then myself, we had some soup today. I'm gonna have a little din in a little bit, you know, cause she's sleeping. I want to get this video out of the way. Have a small dinner, and then I might go to bed after this. I might stay up and watch a little watch a movie, watch LFG or something, and then go to bed. And then tomorrow I gotta go to go to the doctor, and then I gotta go to therapy. Rose has got her stuff, so it is what it is. But you know, even though we had weekend plans, we had to scrap them. But this coming weekend, hopefully, we'll be fine enough to go to on Saturday night. We got some big plans Saturday night, going out with some friends, and then the week after that, got some other stuff going on. We're busy. We're busy people, my friends. So if you think I don't have a life, fuck you, because you can't prove it. You on YouTube all day, Peter? No, I'm not, because I got things to do. You know, I got doctor appointments, I got physical therapy, I got other things to worry about. Most of the time, I'm not on YouTube, so proved you wrong, bitches. And that's that. Alright, after 13 minutes of spiel, which you clipped, and I don't give 2 fucks, because that's all you can do, is just clip it, mock me, you stupid little friends in your chat. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. You're just an inanimate object. Don't care about how many subs you got. I don't really give 2 fucks about what people say about me. It's just the same bullshit I've heard for almost 17 years. Hey, if you don't like me, don't watch me. But you will, because you don't have nothing else to do. You don't have to do a fucking live stream for 2-3 hours, half drunk and bloated, or just out you gourd. Well, you want to do it because you need content. Because you can't do anything yourself. And if you did anything yourself, it doesn't get many views. So, I digress. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sunday night, thank you for watching right here on the Peter Joseph, right here on Kill It Demon 669. I'm Peter Joseph. I'm going nuts right now, but it is what it is. But I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, the sport of professional wrestling, movies, music, and all that other good shit. If you like that, then you came to the right place. Hit that subscribe button on this channel. Show my other channels your love and support as well. Lots of content on there. More to come throughout this year and into the future, Conan. Because we ain't gonna stop. This train will not stop until I want it to stop. Nobody's gonna tell me differently. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. On your Sunday night, on video number 2 on the Kill the Demons channel, it is time for your late and out-of-date TNA Empire Wrestling and Ring of Honor reviews. For this past Thursday night, April the 30th, the last day of April 2026, pretty good shows. You know, TNA, pretty much rolling along until we hit Slammiversary, their next big, huge event, going head-to-head with Forbidden Door, June the 28th. And for Ring of Honor, we are, this Thursday is the go-home show before, actually, take that back. This week is the pre-Ultimate to Ultimate go-home show. Because we got Supercard of Honor coming up May the 15th. That's the Eyes of, I was going to say Eyes of March, but a week from this Friday, Ring of Honor, first pay-per-view of the year. And that's pretty much it. That's Supercard of Honor 19, my friends. It's amazing how Ring of Honor and TNA are about to, almost, next year, will hit their 25th anniversary. That's impressive. For TNA, that's impressive. Ring of Honor as well. Was both companies, you know, looked like they were about to die. Especially TNA. Ring of Honor, you know, even in the Sinclair years, looked like it was about to keel over and die. Now with Tony Khan, it's been kind of like semi-flatlining. But it is what it is. Speaking of Tony Khan, holy shit. I read something on Twitter that, well, not Ring of Honor, sorry, AEW is going to be looking for a new TV deal in the next 12 to 16 months because of the whole Warner Brothers Paramount deal. So AEW, I think their deal with TBS and TNT ends in 28, I believe. I think it's 28 or 29. So they're going to be looking for a new home. They could go to Paramount, but Paramount, guess who owns that? Guess who's affiliated with that? TKO. Got going to Paramount. So they're looking at going to YouTube temporarily before, as they look for a new deal, but not right now. They said maybe in the next 12 to 16 months, about a year and a half. So more on TBS and TNT. Then, you know, we'll see if Tony Khan can find a permanent home for AEW. Well, can't be A&E. Can't do that. Can't go to AMC. TNA. Where are you going to go? The only place I think they can go is YouTube. Can't go to Netflix because that's WWE territory. You could maybe go to Amazon. And they want to go streaming. I mean, just go on HBO Max then. Fuck. You know, they don't need TV. Well, actually they do, but pretty much cable TV and satellite TV is going to be extinct pretty soon because everything is basically you can watch. Oh, I'm going to watch AEW. I missed it. I'm watching tomorrow on AEW Plus or some shit. So that's what's going to, you know, everything's turning to streams now. Basic cable and basic satellite TV pretty much going to be extinct pretty soon. So like Dish, DirecTV, you might not be around for much longer. Because now the future of technology, the future of television, with AI and that garbage AI. We'll see what happens with that, but yeah, probably the next year or so we're going to be talking about where's AEW going to go on TV. We'll see. Let me move on. Alright, so let's start off with, as we always do with the better show, TNA Impact Wrestling this week. Pretty good show. The main event was the first ever Walk with Elijah guitar strap match between Elijah and Frankie Kazarian. Brutal match that was. We have nothing made for Slammiversary yet. We don't have any shows coming up before then because we're pretty much gearing up for Slammiversary. Pretty much in about 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks or so. So we have nothing concrete right now in TNA, but we got some good storylines going on that we could see at Slammiversary, the 24th anniversary. So we'll see. Alright, so once again, I think for the final time, we're at the Upstate Medical University Arena at the On Center War Memorial in the great city of Syracuse, New York. Gene. That's upstate, dumb fucks. And as always on Thursday Night Impact, we have our commentary team of Tom Phillips and Matthew Waywalt, otherwise known as Aiden English, who loves Rusev Day. He thinks every day is Rusev Day. But, well, we don't have that. But every day you should acknowledge Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns got WWE took Roman off all the June Raws. Why? Because they don't want him. I read something on Twitter that he's not going to be at Night of Champions, which is in Saudi Arabia. So they don't want him in Italy and France and even in Baltimore for the build to Night of Champions. They just want him maybe via satellite, which I think is stupid, but in hindsight, he still has leukemia, so you want to keep him safe, just in case he gets something, he gets very sick. You don't want to keep him off TV for a little bit. I get it, but, now everybody's like, oh, Roman's a hypocrite, I thought he was going to be here all summer. Not his fault, it's WWE and TKO's fault, because I read that they're restructuring his contract, and Roman ain't liking it. And there's a possibility that this coming Saturday at Backlash, he could drop the belt to Jacob, and then, well, we won't see Roman for a while. I hope not. I hope this is a joke. But, seeing it on Twitter, like, everybody, somebody put up on Twitter, like, oh, Roman might be leaving WWE because, TKO's restructuring his contract and he don't like it. The whole New Day situation. They don't like their contract, they left. But I highly doubt that Roman freaking Reigns is going to leave WWE because, for a month because of contract talks or restructuring his contract. I highly doubt it, and there is a possibility that Jacob wins the title. But that's... If he does lose the title, I think we know why, because of the whole contract situation, which, take that with a grain of salt, because you know how things, these things from Facebook, mind you, whoever writes these stories on Facebook need to be fucking banned for life on Facebook. Came out with that story that TKO was gonna buy Lucha Underground. Didn't hear anything on Ringside News or any other things. People say Sean Ross Sapp said that. He was like, nope. Sean Ross Sapp's a big clickbaiting bitch, but I digress. And even Sean Ross Sapp today, talk about the whole Roman situation, he's like, nope. So I took it as, yep, another Facebook clickbait story. Whether it be true or not, But I don't think Roman is going to drop the title to Jacob because, you got big storylines on Raw that he could be in. They're talking about him and Walter, him and maybe Braun Breaker, maybe him and Bronson Reed finish their feud. And then, really, Roman and Oba got a fight by SummerSlam, right? Or maybe after that. So, I don't know what's going on. I'm just telling you what I see on Facebook, on Twitter. Sometimes Twitter is, people just write up stupid fake stories on Twitter. They should be fucking banned for misinformation. I'm just saying. We got that. Alright, enough about that. The other news. Let's get into Impact. Alright, so Tom Phillips and Aiden English, Matthew Waywalt on commentary. So we started with an opening recap from last week's show. Then we get to what's happening this week. And we start off with match number 1. Because unlike WWE, we get to the action. Because, as my ex-girlfriend used to say, and it's trademarked and copyrighted, a little less talk and a lot more action on TNA or in life, you know, or on BCR, whatever. It's an old liner, and it's actually copyrighted by me and my ex, so can't use it, fuckers. If you do, you're getting fined. Let me move on. Alright, so we start off with match number 1. We have Vincent of the Righteous. Without Dutch, who we saw last week take on Matt Hardy, beat his ass. Yeah, Dutch beat Matt Hardy last week. Now, Vincent takes on Jeff Hardy, dude. Alright, so none of the seconds at ringside. This was actually, I thought it was going to be a great match, but not so much. But an interesting superstar comes back in this little match. We get that. Partners were banned last week, and they're banned this week from ringside. So it's also with Jeff jumping Vincent to start pretty fast. Goes for a swanton a little bit early for that there, Jeff. But it's like Jeff with a flippy gibbity-doo to the outside, takes down Vincent on the floor. Then he's spinning mule kick. His usual stuff back inside. Another swanton gets broken up. Vincent rams Jeff into the apron. Ow. They go back in, and Vincent bends Jeff's back over his knee. Ow. Only for Jeff to fight back while they sit out Jawbreaker, another vintage Jeff Hardy move. Then he punches it out, and Jeff wins that exchange. Gets back up for the leg drop between the legs. Pinfall, but Vincent kicked out of that too. And then Twist of Fate gets another near fall. So Jeff with a Russian leg sweep into a fruit roll up for a near fall. So like 3 straight pinfalls there. And then a sit-out Goldbuster drops Vincent again, but Vincent pulls Jeff back out of the corner for a big crash. Ouch. Vincent goes up, looking for a move. Then the lights go out. Oh, what happened? Sabu! No, not you, Sabu. Stay over there. Hang out with Mikey. Hey, Sabu, come over here. We're gonna put people through tables. And Sabu's just like, go over there, Terry. Not you, Terry, and not you, Bullia. You, Sabu, go over there. Go over there and hang out with Mikey. Mikey, you take care of him, please. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. We'll be fine. Don't worry. You have a good show. I'll see you later. Okay, Mike. We'll talk later. Hey, say goodbye. Quick. Bye! Okay. Good old Mike Awesome. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Alright, so the lights go out, then they come back on. We have Broken Matt Hardy! Yes! Wonderful! Did it! He's there, he's like, doing his mannerisms. So, Broken Matt Hardy is back. Then the lights go out again. And then Matt Hardy's not even there. He went through a trap door. And then Jeff is on the top rope. And somehow Vincent is down. And then Jeff hits a Swanton Bomb. 1, 2, 3. And almost 8 minutes. Jeff Hardy, dude, gets the win over Vincent. And I think we know what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. The Broken Hardys versus the Righteous in Apocalyptica. Or Final Deletion. It's getting there. I think we're going to see that at either on Impact or we're going to see it at Slammiversary. Some type of Final Deletion match. A cage. Who knows? The way this storyline is going, how violent it may be getting, we're going to get some type of Apocalyptica match. For those tag team titles. See what happens with that. As far as the match goes, 2.5 out of 5 stars, that's it. Alright, we're in the back with the lovely Gia Miller, oh my. She's with the King, she's with the King, Frankie Kazarian, so ready for the guitar scrap match, because he's been in the first of a bunch of matches over the last 20 years that he's been in TNA, and then he was in AEW for a little bit with SCU. And he came back, became champion, won the Call Your Shot trophy, and all that other shit. So he's like, it's like, I won the first ever X Division, King of the Mountain match. I won the first ever, Ultimate X match, something like that. So he's like, I'm gonna win the first ever guitar scrap match. And that's it. And we'll see what happens with Frankie, Kaz, and, Elijah in the main event later on. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, we got to match number 2 for the Intercontinental title. We have Mustafa Ali, along with the rest of Order 4. You know, they didn't need them. But, well, he has his his International Open Challenge, which we saw Adam Brooks from, Australia, mate. He got the call, and they picked his country, and he is the man who's gonna try to beat Mustafa Ali and get the Intercontinental title. So this match was, not great, but okay. Make a wish, 555. Not 8675309, but, you know, Jedi, you know. So we got that. Alright, so it's also with Adam Brooks getting run over by Ali to start. Grabs a Hurricanrana, running Hurricanrana. Then a spin wheel kick knocks the Aussie down, but he goes right back with a kick to face. And then Ali gets backdropped to the floor. Ow. And then, but Ali plants Adam Brooks on the floor to cut off his momentum. Rolling neckbreaker gives Mustafa Ali a near fall on the inside. And then we get a 1905 chinlock to slow it down a little bit. Ali gets up, dives into a punch to face, knocks him out of mid-air. And then Adam Brooks with a brain buster on the knee, a little collateral damage, if you will. Somebody been watching Adam Cole tapes, baby. Gets a near fall out of that. Goes for a charge in the corner and missed. No one in the pool for you, sir. And then, Ali goes right up top, hits the 450 splash. 1, 2, 3, and still your reigning, defending Intercontinental Champion, Mustafa Ali. Not a great match, but still 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's it. And, yeah, we move on with that. Alright, then we get a thing from EY, Eric Young. There's a match next week with EC3, and it is no holds barred. They want to get violent next week. We love violence. We don't condone it here, but we love it. So, we'll see what happens with that. Every time I do these videos, my freaking notes disappear. They just fucking disappear. So, we'll see what happens with that, and, we'll get that. Yeah, but like I said, most of the show was, you know, good. Mike Santana on the show. See what's gonna happen with him and his probably next opponent, which looks like it's gonna be Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth, the man who parked Issa's car perfectly. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens with that, and, later on. And then we move on. And, that's it. Alright, see if I can get my notes back. I hate when freaking Microsoft Word just clonks out on me sometimes. Then I have to fiddle around with it. Stupid fucking shit. Alright, hold on, guys. Alright, Alright, we're gonna, reload in a second, so. I'm gonna reload the notes, and, we should be back up and running in just a second. Alright, we're back. Alright, so, like I said, EY wants EC3. He wants to end EC3 and this little feud with him once and for all next week. We're gonna get a little violent, no DQ, anything goes, hardcore. And that's pretty much it. And we got that. Alright, then we run down the rest of the show. I don't know why. We should have done that in the beginning of the show. And that's that. Alright, then we get to our next match. We got the ladies and knockouts. And it's time! Yes, the prophecy is back in the ring with some action. You gotta love that. The undead realm of my demon assassin, my demon bride, the co-founder of the prophecy. You know her, you love her, you can't get enough of her. Rosemary, along with Miss Jakara Jackson, if you're nasty, Morris Sade, and returning to TNA, her first match since getting killed 7 years ago. And that's the bunny, the lovely Ali. She's vicious. So they take on the Diamond Collective of Tessa Blanchard, Alicia Fox, Victoria Crawford, and my girl Mila Moore. So this was a 6-woman tag. Wasn't great, but still, it is what it is. Commentary did bring up that Ali was killed 7 years ago. Like we didn't know that. Anyway, so it's also with Rosemary whipping Alicia Fox into the corner, hammers away at her. Then we got a biter! Sends her to the outside. You know, Rosemary, I guess, forgot to eat lunch, eat in catering. I don't know. She's a biter. Which isn't a bad thing. So, anyway, Marshall comes in, hits a flippy dippity doo onto the Diamond Collective. We go to break. We come back. As always, during the break, the heels come back. Rosemary is triple kneed in the corner. And then, well, the cameraman, I don't know what you were shooting. We see a whole bunch of empty seats. Because, you know, they were taping like 4 shows in the span of 2 days. Or 4 shows, and I don't know how they tape, but not like how Ring of Honor, when I went to a Ring of Honor taping, they taped 4 shows in a span of like 3 hours. It's crazy. It's good, because now I know what's happening next week. I don't have to tell you. But yeah, we get the spoilers on, you know, it is what it is. They're like, hey, look, it's me! I've been on Ring of Honor TV back in the day. In the early days of HD Net, if you remember, some of you remember that. And you can actually look those New York shows up. I think it's circa 2012-13, I'd say, on ringofhonorwrestling.com. So if you have Honor Club, you can do that, but if you want to look it up on YouTube, it's probably not even there. But if you can look up Eddie Edwards, Eddie Edwards and and Bobby Fish from the Grand Ballroom. I think it was in 2012 or 13. I could be wrong on the year, but I was there for that match. Those tapings, I was there. I was even on the intro to the first episode of Ring of Honor on Ring of Honor TV, because they came out and they're filming the fans and everything. You say, yeah, it's me. You know, you see me. And then Kerry Silken comes out. I know Kerry for many years. Trying to get a job, and that's it. Well, I didn't get a job, but he linked me up with a good guy named Prince Nana, who linked me up with my mentor, Joel Maximum, and the rest is history. I think we all know that. For those of you who don't know, Joel Maximum was my mentor, because I do have some wrestling training. Not much of it, but I got my foot in the door at least. I took bumps here and there. I tried to do commentary, but they already had commentary. Wanted to do ring announcing, they already had a ring announcer. And it wouldn't have worked out because, most of the shows were in Sunset Park. I think Sunset Park, or not Bensonhurst, but I think it was in Sunset Park, 36th Street off the D train. If you live in Brooklyn, Then they would do shows in different places, so it was hard. It would have been hard for me to go. So I was like, all right, and I had a job, and I didn't want to lose my job because I didn't want to not go to work because I broke my leg and some shit, doing some wrestling training. So I had to stop. But I'm still good friends with Joel Maximo. Good, me and Nana, we talk every once in a while on Instagram and X. Not so much Facebook, but But I got my foot in the door, and that's that. Where I went with that, but anyway, yeah. So we got a bad shot of MTC, so that cameraman is gonna get fired. Anyway, Rosemary fights up, gets the hot tag to Allie, comes in like a house on fire, cleans house, and then her and Rosemary grab Stereo upside downs. That's all tarantulas for you dumb people at home. And then Allie hits the code breaker on poor Mila Moore. Sorry, baby, but you had to take the pin. Not like that, but you know what I mean. But, so, Allie gets her first win in 7 years in TNA after getting killed. So, the Undead Realm, the Prophecy, get the win in a smidge over 8.5 minutes. You gotta love it. I was very happy. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so we'll see what happens with Allie, Rosemary, and Mara Sade. We can see them going after the Knockouts Tag Team titles, which I believe the Alliance brand has. We'll get to the Alliance brand in a little bit on this review as well. Alright, so 3 out of 5 stars for that. Being a little biased, but what is what it is. That's that. Alright, then we go to a video for, we haven't seen this guy in a while, Santino Malala, you son of a gun! We all know he got unceremoniously, indefinitely suspended by TNA management and Sonya Deville. So we see him, he's been cleared of all charges, and now he has his authority back. So that's good. So he says, next week, we got Moose and Leon Slater taking on Bear Bronson and Brian Myers for the TNA Tag Team titles. And we also got the Knockouts Tag Team titles on the line as the Elegance brand. I don't know who they're facing. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so Santino is back, and he also announces that this lovely lady, Indy Hartwell, is back from suspension. She's all happy. She comes out to the ring. Well, not the ring per se, but comes out on the ramp, announces she's back. She's happy that Santino's back, despite Sonya Deville's interference. But other than that, she tells Ariana Grace, the Knockouts champion, it doesn't matter if she retains or she loses the belt to Xia Li this coming week. She's coming for her. So, I have a feeling Ariana's gonna beat Xia Li because Xia Brookside is gonna cost Xia Li the title, and they're gonna feud. They're gonna keep going in their feud. So I would say at Slammiversary, Indy Hartwell is gonna face Ariana Grace for the Knockouts title and probably get it back for, I believe, the second time. So we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, so all that, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Speaking of champions, we got the World Heavyweight Champion, and that's Mike Santana. He's all happy. He's all happy with his match against Rich Swann last week. That was a banger match. But I think that's TNA Match of the Year right now. Or actually on Impact Match of the Year, not Impact Match of the Year, because I think that goes, was earlier this year. There's a great match. I think it was with Leon. I forget who. I think it was Cedric or somebody. Anyway. So he talks about that, but Nick Nemeth comes up, has the Call Your Shot trophy, and suggests that he's going to cash in on Mike pretty soon. We just don't know when. So Mike has to have eyes in the back of his head, because not only does he have to worry about Nick Nemeth, Leon Slater has option C. And he's going to defend the belt, the X Division title, not this week, next week. I think that's a live show in Sacramento against Cedric Alexander. So, and the day after, May 15th, if he wins, he will be the longest reigning X Division champion in company history. I think we're going to see a title change. And then, you never know, now Cedric can have option C and cash in on whoever wins the title at Slammiversary. So we'll see. So if you're Mike Santana, you got to look out for not only Leon Slater, you got to worry about, and maybe Cedric Alexander, you got to worry about, Nick Nemeth and other people on that TNA roster, like Eddie Edwards, Bear Bronson, Moose, Eric Young, even EC3. So, it kind of sucks being champ, but, that's what you get for being champ. Got a lot of challenges coming your way. But I think Mike can handle it. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Moving on, my friends. Alright, Sonya Deville talks to her unseen boss. We don't know who she's talking to. She's talking to Carlos Silva. Maybe somebody from TKO. I don't know. So she confirms that all Santino Marella's matches are set. Santino is back in power. And then Indy Hartwell comes in. Sonya threatens to not renew her contract. Uh-oh. Now we know Mike Santana's contract ends pretty much after Slammiversary, and he's likely going to NXT. We should go to the main roster, but his contract legit ends, I think, at the end of June. So, or early July. So see what happens with that. I don't know how Indy's contract is right now, but yeah, that's pretty much it. We move on. Alright, back to the ring we go. So no more segments, a little less talk, a lot more action on the show, please. Alright, so we got the hometown man, Cody Deaner, takes on Mr. Elegance with the rest of the Elegance brand, Ash, Heather, and M by Elegance. Ash by Elegance. Dana Brooke went in for more surgery for that procedure she's been talking about. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't think we're gonna see Ash for a little while. But I hope it was a success, and hopefully we see her. I'm sorry I'm babbling, but it is what it is, and that's that. And yeah, we move on. All right, so this match was kind of blah, and so he poses a start. That earns him an armbar, circa Chris Jericho, Move number 1, armbar. Move number 2, Fujiwara armbar. Move number 3, arm wringer. Move number 69, kick to the balls. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so Cody Deaner grabs an airplane spin, circa 1934. And a choke on the rope. Mr. Elegance is back, but a spine buster, followed by some running knees to the back. Because it didn't look good. I don't know, the cameraman messed that up. Anyway, and then Ash, Heather, and M, and even George the Iceman, the customer concierge, they messed with Cody Deaner's Syracuse jersey, and that distraction backfired because Cody Deaner makes a comeback with an elbow and high cross body for a near fall. Ash gets on the apron and starts dancey, about, until she's gonna, lift up her woo, show my titties. And then Cody shrugs her off. He's like, oh, I don't care about you dancing and, shaking your tatas in your ass. So he, so she tried to kiss him, and he's like, I ain't kissing you. I don't know where those lips been. I don't want to know. Then he puts one of his masks on her, and she's like, ah! And then he gets caught with the with a wind-up DDT. Didn't look good. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Mr. Elegance gets his first win in TNA, and we didn't give a fuck. So the match was garbage. 2.25 out of 5 stars, and yeah. So it feels like the whole show, minus the prophecy stuff. That was the only thing good about it. Speaking of the prophecy, once again, we got another segment with us. Ali and Mara Sade are happy with the win. And, I think it was Ali or Rosemary asked Mara Sade, he's like, how's it feel do you like the Undead Realm? And Mara's like, it's kind of creepy, but I dig it. Hey, welcome to the prophecy, Mara. We love to have you. Anyway, Rosemary comes in and says, we still have a lot of work to do, you think? Knockouts title, maybe? Knockouts tag team titles? So got a lot of work to do. So then Mara Sade says, okay, I'll see you guys later. And she starts to dance. Dancey. Ali tries to do her, gyration dance. So they leave and Rosemary's like, the fuck is this? And then she's like, when nobody's watching, I'm gonna dance. So she starts dancing. I'm like, what are you doing? We don't dance here in the prophecy. We don't, in hell. We're not dancing. So she's doing a little dancey. She gets caught. I'm like, oh no. And then Ali and Mara are like, you see how we got you. It feels like Death Dolls back again. Those segments where, Jessica Havoc and Taya Valkyrie at the bar. And then Taya's like, this is so exciting. And then they're drinking, and even fucking Rosemary's like having a woohoo. Something you don't see every day. I'm like, okay. We're evil, but we have fun here in the prophecy once in a while. You gotta love it. I love it. But Rosemary, don't do that again. It's good, but so now we're evil. We don't do that shit. Right on. Moving on. Alright, then we have look like a sit-down interview with Xia Li. I don't know where they were. It looked like they were in catering. Xia Li looks depressed. I mean, really depressed about losing her friend Xia Brookside and what happened at Rebellion. She's crushed. And then even what happened last week, where, they looked like they're gonna mend the relationship. They're gonna be back to besties. And then Xia Brookside's like, no. And it spiked her on her neck. Surprised she's still alive to talk. But anyway, Gia Miller talks to her, and she doesn't even want the title shot that she's getting next week, or this week really. So she wants to leave that behind. And then, of all people, the voice of reason, old man Tommy Dreamer, he comes in and says, yeah, I had friends backstab me. I have one guy, that I known, in, with the Boy Scouts or something, kind of tie that in with the Raven feud. Wait a minute, Raven wasn't in fucking camp. What are you talking about, Tommy? I know you were trying to tie it in with your backstory, but I don't think Raven was in. Well, never mind. I don't even want to go there. So he's like, everyone believes in you. You know, it would be wrong for you to leave, and we get it. We get it. We love you. We hate for you to leave. But you got to go out there and fight, and do your best. And even if you lose, we still love you. So those words kind of rang a bell with Xia Li. She's like, okay, I will stay. So of all people, Tommy Dreamer is the voice of reason, and Xia Li is going to stay and fight Ariana Grace for the title this Thursday night on the program. She going to win? Probably not. Probably not. So, yeah. Good job, Tommy. Tommy, you could have picked anybody to be your partner, but you picked Jake Roberts, you fucking idiot, Tommy! You tell him, Cherry. That puke! That guy is a weirdo! I don't know why I ever looked up to him! That son of a bitch! Okay, Terry, calm down now, please. Don't tell me to calm down! Because I was a hardcore legend in Japan! Japan! #1! Forever! And ever! Forever! Okay, Terry, we know. Stop. Thank you. Leave him alone! Okay, go back to the bed, alright? Cactus, go back to bed, you son of a bitch. Terry, don't talk to me like that. Cactus, stop being a fucking retard. Hey, calm down. Have a nice day, Terry. Mr. Joseph, would you like a Dorito? No. I gotta go get some, though. But no, not right now. Okay, you have a nice day. Bye. Okay. Go to bed, Mick. Past your bedtime, anyway. Haha. Let me move on. Alright, so let's see what happens with Xia Li on Thursday Night Impact. Alright, then we get the X Division champion, Leon Slater, coming out for the little chat. Happy to be here, because he's getting closer and closer to becoming the longest reigning X Division champion of all time. That's on May 15th. But that's all fine, because, but he's not happy with Cedric Alexander, who can't keep his name out of his mouth. And then, on cue, Cedric Alexander comes out and says, I earned my title shot! And that's going to come on May 14th in Sacktown, Sacramento, California. A day before you set the record. And then he says, kind of baits him in, saying that, I don't want you to get hurt and everything. And I'm like, yeah, that's bullshit. And then the rest of the system come out, jump in from behind, and then Moose runs in for the save. I guess to set up the tag match next week. This week I should say. Brian Myers gets power bombed onto everybody, and then poor Alicia Edwards almost got speared in half. And if it wasn't for her man Eddie Edwards, Eddie might be a single guy. You know what I mean? So we got that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that segment. And we move on. Alright, then we got a segment with Ryan Nemeth, Nick's little brother. He feels left out by his big brother, who parked Issa's car perfectly. And he's like talking to himself I thought he was talking to himself, but then we pan over as AJ Flop Dollar Francis talking to him about that. And AJ's like, I don't like you because of what you did, what you and your brother did to me. And I don't like you slapping my leg there, Ryan. Don't do that. or else you're gonna get your ass handed to you. And then AJ points out that the Nemus did all this shit they're doing now to him, but he don't care, and he wants Nick to leave Casey Navarro, good buddy of mine. He's like, leave Casey to me. Yeah, because of the whole first class thing. So see what happens with that. I think we've got a match next week with Flop Dollar and Casey Navarro. And we'll see what happens with that. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. We move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Then we get to the main event of Impact. First ever Walk with Elijah strap match. And the rules of this match, which is different from other strap matches we had, where it's just like, they're strapped together to beat the fuck out of each other, one fall to a finish, no DQ, stuff like that. But this one is traditional strap match rules, 4 corner, you have to hit all 4 corners in succession to win the match. But this time, we don't start in the ring, we start it in the back, which is interesting. So Kaz tries to cheat, that didn't work. Then they beat the crap out of each other in the back. And then Kaz slams Elijah's arm in a door. Ow. Then got crocked on some, like, it looked like, I thought it was a guardrail, but it looked like some type of equipment box or some shit. And then Elijah puts him on a cart, sends him rolling into a big crash, and then a whole bunch of other equipment fell on him. And then some rams into the garage door. Kaz is in big trouble. Then they finally go to ringside after the ref's like, hey, let's go to the ring already! So we get that, go to break, come back, they're at ringside, and then Elijah sends him into the ring. And then a old school rope walk, sunset flip bomb, that was pretty cool. Puts Kaz down, but Kaz is back up with some whips to the ribs. Ow, that guitar strap, that hurts. Especially if it breaks doing a performance. Ow! Fuck! But Elijah's like, okay. Ties him around the ring post. Gets in his own whooping. He whooping that trick, you know what I mean? Okay. So then Kaz grips him on the apron. Drops the leg like the Hulkster brother. And then but he gets pulled into the ring post. Ow! They go back in the ring. Kaz grabs the crossface chicken wing when it says Bob Backlund! No, not Bob Backlund. Elijah hits 3 of the 4 buckles, and then goes to the 4th, gets broken up. Kaz pulls him down into the middle of the ring, stays on the bad arm. Elijah breaks that up, and knees him out of mid-air. That was ouch. Then a backstabber cuts Elijah off. So Kaz goes to hit the buckles. 1, 2, 3. Goes to the 4th one. Elijah pulls him down. Then the strap breaks. So how's it gonna work now? A little piece of fucking, not even rubber band, like the original strap is like a big fucking huge supersized rubber band. It's a guitar strap. Like a supersized guitar strap. Or 2, or 3, who knows. But anyway, the strap broke. And then Elijah hits the tombstone, the Highwayman's Farewell. And then he basically, with the broken guitar strap, I guess that's legal. 1, 2, 3. Goes to the 4th one. Kaz tries to fight back. And he's pulling on Elijah. Elijah's like, He gets to his guitar, picks it up, and BAM! Oh, wow. He hit Kaz flush in the head. It didn't break like it normally would break, like if New Jack hit you with a guitar, motherfucker, or Jeff Jack would hit with your guitar, because, those are fake guitars. Those are wooden guitars, not the ones we normally have. So he hits him, knocks him out, and then Elijah basically, falls right into the 4th turnbuckle, and he gets the win in the first ever Walk with Elijah guitar strap match. And, that's pretty much it. It was a good match. 16 and a half minutes. Great match. 3.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was pretty damn good for semi-hardcore match. But Elijah gets the win. I hope this feud with Kaz is over. And then we see what happens next with Elijah. Maybe go for the world title. Maybe go for the Intercontinental title. We'll see what happens with that. And that's it. And, TNA wasn't that bad. So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 stars. And that's that. Alright, let's quickly go to the honorable ring, as Matt Hardy would say. So, Ring of Honor Wrestling for this week. We got this week and next week's shows. We got 2 more shows to go before Supercard. And don't forget, next week, no Collision. Actually, this week there's Collision. And then May 6th, I think it's May 16th. They're doing this Fairway to Heaven event on TBS. It's like a 1-hour show. I'm like, what is this? We're going to play on they're having this type of thing. It's going to be a yearly thing I heard from Tony Khan, where they're going to fight in California. It's going to be like a charity golf tournament / wrestling show. We're going to get that on TNT, and nobody wants to see that. I'm not watching it. I won't even be around next week. Not the 9th, the 16th. I will not even be watching Collision. Or this Fairway to Heaven thing. I don't care. But Tony Khan wants to make this like a yearly fucking thing. I'm like, oh, really? Come on now. I'm like, come on, man! Alright, so we got that. That's that. Alright, so Ring of Honor was actually a pretty decent show. We do have some news going into Supercard of Honor. Persephone is out of the Survival of the Fittest match because of what happened on Collision, where she got misted by my girl Julia Hart. So they're taking her out of the match, and now it's going to be my girl Zeta Steele and I think Trisha Dora. I forget who it was. I think it was Zeta, and I know it's Zeta Steele, but I forgot the other person. But we'll get to that later. Alright, so once again, we are from WJCT Studios in Jacksonville, Florida. And as always, our commentary team of the Boring Man himself, Ian Ricker Boring, and the Pasta, my good buddy. If I don't do this, he gets mad. Caprice Coleman, the Pasta. Alright, we move on. Alright, so we start with the opening sequence. Match number 1, we have Kosuke Takeshita. Surprised to see him on Ring of Honor TV. Takes on Daddy Magic, Matt Maynard. And do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard? Ask him yourself. I don't know. Alright, so surprise on Ring of Honor. Pretty decent match for 7 minutes. Back and forth they went. Getting to the end, Takeshita grabs a 1905 chinlock. Daddy Magic fights up, sends Takeshita into the corner for some right hands. Then they exchange forearms. That goes to Takeshita, who hits a Blue Thunder Bomb, and you're not Sami Zayn, so you get 2. And then the running Busaiku knee, surprisingly, the running knee finishes off Daddy Magic, Matt Maynard. Takeshita gets the win. And pretty decent match. 2.5 out of 5 stars. So, a rare Takeshita signing on Ring of Honor TV. But like I said, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Alright, then we got a Ring of Honor debut. Something you don't see every day. We got the big man from STP, Shane Taylor, 1/3 of the 6-man tag team champions. He takes on the Mancer, Mance Warner. Where the fuck is Stephanie the Lander? What, Tony Khan didn't sign her? Bastard. So anyway, Mance Warner's little debut in Ring of Honor. And it went I thought it went pretty nice. But sadly, Mance did not get the win. Because they're fighting on the outside. Because you know how Mance is hardcore. And I met the guy too. At the GCW show here in Brooklyn. Last year. Met him and Stephanie Lander. Stephanie's a cutie patootie. I saw Masha. I met up with Matt Tremont, a buddy. Who else was on that show? Mike Santana was on the show, but I didn't meet him. Priscilla Kelly, I saw at the end of the show. She was doing a meet and greet at the end of the show. Gigi Dolan, There's a lot of, interesting people there. That was last year. I don't think they're going to do it this year unless I hear something from GCW, but we'll see. We'll see if they do anything in the summertime. But it is what it is. Blah, 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 blah. Moving on. Alright, so they're on the outside, go back in, big clothesline drops Mance again, followed by a release, rock bottom, then a big old splash by the big man, gives Shane Taylor a near fall, goes for a middle rope splash, that missed, no one in the pool for you on that one, sir. No cannonball for you. Mance fires off some clotheslines, has a belly-to-back suplex of all things. Then he goes to grab a chair. Oh, I don't think you can do that, because this is Ring of Honor, not GCW, sir. So, said chair is used for a running tornado DDT. Where's the DQ there? Ref. Anyway, but Shane Taylor's knee to face gets a near fall. Then he picks up Mance, hits the Marcus Garvey driver. 1, 2, 3. Shane Taylor gets the win over Mance Warner in about 8 minutes. Decent match. 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. So we move on. Alright, then we got a segment with the premier athletes. Ari Daivari, Story Denali, Smart Mark, Mark Sterling, and Josh Goods Woods, and Tony Nese. Basically, they won everyone against laying a hand on Smart Mark. Ooh. Fuck Mark Sterling for this. I've seen that guy a few times in WrestlePro, but he's annoying. But it is what it is. Alright, so we get that. That leads to, speaking of Story Denali, the big woman, she takes on some chick named JC Love. Not JC Jane or JC Mahal. JC Love, who barely got out the gate, got a couple drop kicks to the leg, because, she had to chop down that big redwood tree named Story Denali. Didn't do anything because she goes for a tornado DDT. Story Denali blocked it. Then hits a choke slam. 1, 2, 3 in just under 2.5 minutes. That's it. Thank you for coming, JC Love. Here's your $50. Get out of here. That's that. Alright. After that, get to our next match. A little bit longer. 9.5 minutes. Alan Angels, remember him? I think we all remember Alan Angels, number 5 from the Dark Order. Takes on, Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Precious. Leo Rush. Because we have to have something weird on the show. Why not? So, this was a weird, crazy match. Fast-paced because both are, high flyers and everything. Alan Angels bites Leo on the ear. We got a biter! Stop biting people! If you want to bite people, go to catering. Grab yourself a nice, big, juicy steak or something. Shit. Anyway, bites the ear, gets caught with a springboard stunner for a near fall. Powerbomb out the corner, plants Leo Rush again. And then Alan's spin kick to head gets a near fall. Then they have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 pinfall reversal sequence for a bunch of 1 counts, even though it's 1, 2, but whatever. And then Alan Angels rolls some half and half suplexes, pretty nice. Top rope splash gives him a near fall. They head to the apron where Leo Rush hits another stunner. Then he does his whole running like a fucking dog, like he's Gozer the Gozerian's dog and Ghostbusters running around like a Wait, somebody get that guy a milk bone. Cute little pooch. Nice doggy. Maybe get a milk bone. Ah! My name is Vince. Vince Lotto. Keymaster of Gozer. Or whatever he was. Are you a god? No. Then die! Ray, when somebody tells you if you're a god, you say yes! I couldn't help it. Fuck you, Ray. Nobody knocks over a church in my town. This bitch is toast. Good old Ghostbusters 1 and 2. 3 wasn't great, what was it, Evolution, the one where Egon wasn't even in it, God rest his mighty soul. Did they make it another one, I think? The one with the women sucks so bad. And then I think they're making another one. I don't know why. I don't know why would you make another Ghostbusters movie. I mean, how many times you gotta kill ghosts? Shit. I mean, while we're at it, I know Super Mario just came out with a new movie, Super Mario Galaxy. What's next, Luigi's Mansion? Let's rip off Ghostbusters. Why not? Maybe have a cameo from, Dan Aykroyd and, Bill Murray. Or maybe Winston! They're actually real, they're animated or real people. Like, what the fuck is Luigi doing? That's our gimmick! Gimmick infringement! Where we get that? Anyway, alright, so some half-and-half suplexes. Topmost splash gives Alan Angels a near fall. They head to the apron, get the stunner. Then he does that weird shit. Around the ring, into a suicide dive. Then they toss Blue Thunder Bomb. And Leo Rush gets the win. A toss Blue Thunder Bomb. He picks him up and then he does that spin, but he goes, woo, boom. Alright, so Leo Rush gets the win over Alan Angels in 9.5 minutes. Decent match. That's what it was. That's that. Alright, then we can look at Diamante formerly of LAX, mocking the Ring of Honor Women's Pure Champion, Diana Purrazzo, last week. Because they're going to go do battle for the Pure title at Supercard. But before that, Diana Purrazzo has a non-title Pure Rules match against some chick named Remy Reed, R-E-A-D-E. Well, not Reed with the E at the end. Don't know who this chick is. But, it was okay. There's some mocking. There's some mocking in. And John's like, alright, I see what you're doing there. Okay, she approved that. They get back up. Deanna backs her into the ropes, which, why does that count as a rope break? I mean, really? Back in my day, that didn't count. Who thought of these rules? These weren't in the rule book in 2006 and 7 when Nigel had it and even Bryan Danielson and Joe had it. They back up to the ropes, not even a rope break. I mean, come on, man. So that counts as a break. Then the threat of a Fujiwara armbar sends Reed over to the ropes, which is a break, but not a break. I mean, what's going on here? And then Deanna with a powerbomb Then the Fujiwara armbar, and then Remy Reed tapped out. 3 minutes. Did I say 3 minutes? Waste of a match. Waste. I didn't like this match at all because, she's got that big match with Diamante, and, it was a kind of a, filler match, warm-up match for Deanna, and, and then, with the rules, you back up into the ropes that counts as a break. I mean, come on. I just don't like I don't like these so-called new, I don't know if it's a new rule, because I never saw it in any Ring of Honor Pure Rules match in the heyday of Ring of Honor. Moving on. Got that. Alright, then we got Top Flight, Darius and Dante Martin. They take on Soleil and Mr. Gringo Loco. I know you. From GCW. Had some time in AEW, a few matches in AEW, and on Ring of Honor TV. Some good ones, too. Alright, so a little tag team match player. I don't know who this Soleil is. Another indie guy. But this did a lot of flippy-dippity-doos. Match lasted under 7 minutes. Getting to the end, Darius fights up, hands it off to Dante. Has to fight both of them off. Then Twisting Meteora. Interesting. Puts Dante down, and then El Gringo Loco drops a Swanton Bomb for a near fall. Then everything breaks down. Darius goes back in for a killing suplex. Then the double underhook DDT. Ouch. Finishes off El Gringo Loco in under 7 minutes. Match-wise, it was actually pretty damn good. And we got that. Alright, there's filler match time once again. Under 4 minutes this time. We go to the ladies. We have the Inspiration. Or the Iconics! Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. They take on Becca. Not B-E-C-C-A, B-3-C-C-A. And some chick named Madison Max. Probably some chick from the indie circuit in Florida. And, the Inspiration clear the ring. And then they pose. Like the peacock. They do a Superman pose. Then a double choke in the corner. Becca comes in, but she gets beaten up as well. Then we get stereo pedigrees, and then Becca gets... they finish off Becca with the Idolizer. 1, 2, 3. So, hey, after losing on fucking... I think it was Dynamite and Collision, they finally get a win in Ring of Honor. Not that it matters, but great to see him. And that's that. Alright, then we get this weird sit-down with Caprice Coleman and Ian Riccaboni. I don't get it, but Ian actually brings in the Ring of Honor Women's TV Champion from your mama's kitchen, Red Velvet. So, I think Caprice was saying some bad things about her. I don't know. Because Caprice looked nervous because he wasn't really ready for that. So, yeah. What is this? Excuse me, is this basic? Now, why would we use something so primitive like basic? She touched me. Golden Boy reference. You've never seen that anime, you suck! Moving on. Alright, then, more women's action. Well, this woman hasn't won a match in Ring of Honor since she came to Ring of Honor. The Vietnamese princess Viva Van takes on Sarah Leone. No relation to Mandy Leone, the Coney Island princess, by the way. That's Delirious's chick. Blah, 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 pieces, features of each. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, shut up, Delirious. Bastard, knocking up my chick. These are golden snack cakes, which are harder to chant. Okay, Austin Aries. I remember that. Manhattan Mayhem 3. Delirious with Sonny Hayes as his manager was fighting Austin Aries, and that feud was just wild. So they're fighting in New York, and I actually saw Austin Aries when I was online to get into the thing, and I had a little run-in with Kenny King. Don't ask, because I said something about the then tag team champions, which was the Kings of Wrestling, Claudio and Chris Hero. He overheard me saying it, just like got in my face, like, "What'd you say?" I just looked at him like, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "What?" I said, "What? It's an opinion. Get out, go, Norton, get out of here." But anyway, Delirious and Austin Aries just going at it on the mic, and Austin Aries pulls out a thing of Twinkies. In that line, he says, "Oh, you can't chant golden snack cakes." And then on cue, with the whole crowd's like, "Golden snack cakes!" And one of my old friends were like, "I can't believe they do that." And that was the event. I actually met Monoxide and I forgot his name. From the owner of COH. I can't remember his name, but Monoxide was there. He was in COH. That's how I met them and everything. Like, that's how I kind of got into COH briefly, and then I was in CWS for a little bit. Got really fucked there, but then I left. Went to ACW. Great promotion that kind of fizzled out. And I was actually there with Chronics. Whatever happened to that guy? I don't know what happened to him. I haven't seen him on Facebook. I don't even think he's on Facebook anymore. And another guy that I haven't seen in God knows how long, I don't even think he's on Facebook anymore, on social media. Marco Rose! Remember him? Some of you do, if you follow my YouTube career. Marco Rose! I met Marco Rose at Supercard of Honor 7 with Rosa. I didn't even know. It was like, holy shit, what are you doing here? And we cut a promo. Because I was fighting him for the global title, and we cut like a mini promo, which didn't go anywhere. But we actually we were supposed to be like feuding, and then we cut a promo, and I'm like, what are you doing here in my city? It's like, you're lucky you have that title. I'll kick your ass. And then we just did like a it was really a promo for ACW on YouTube, basically. I don't even know if it's still there. I miss that guy, Mark Harrows, Chronics. I miss my old group, the Mean Street Mafia, basically. And I had the U.S. title at one point. I had it for a while too. I missed that promotion. It's like the XWF. I missed the XWF, but I mean, it's still around, but it's run by faggots. Sorry. Yeah, XW is now run by faggots. Sorry. So XW is dead right now, and I'm pretty much E-fed out. I'm retired. Well, I'm still the champ. And that's that. Gonna take a sippy sip. I dedicate this sippy sip to you, Marco Rose, Chronics, all my buddies in XWF, COH. Hey, even Nate Carter back in CWS. Here's to you fuckers. Will it come back? I doubt it. I know COH is still around a little bit, but I think it's on Instagram now. Not that I want to do that, but I'm retired. You have to pay me. You gotta pay me to come back, and you gotta pay me a lot. I just don't do shit for free. I'll do a promo, but, you know, I'll give you, like, hey, guess who, you know? You're watching COH on YouTube. And if you're not down with that, well, fuck you, man. Well, you can suck my dick. My super dick. But I digress. Alright, Viva Van and Sarah Leone. Viva Van finally! After what, 2 years in the company, finally gets her first win? Let's have a big old celebration. Finally gets a win. Alright. She breaks the 0 and I don't know how many losses she's had in that company, but finally, win number 1 of many, hopefully, for Viva Van. But we get that. Alright, then we go to a tag team match, another filler match. We got Paid in Full. I don't even know who these guys are. Taking on Nick Halen, no relation to Van Halen, and Vin Parker. Oh, Paid in Full is Brian Keith and Big Cass. They changed their name again. I didn't know that. But anyway, under 2.5 minute match. This was garbage. Big Cass hits the Abyss Black Hole Slam on Vin Parker. And then a big boot finishes off Nick, don't call him Van Halen. And they get the win. Paid in Full get the win. Didn't give 2 fucks. Alright, then we got a video for the Ring of Honor in-ring debut of the lovely Christiane XO. We all know her as Carly Bravo's chick. Anyway, she takes on Frankie B. The B, I don't know what it stands for. I guess Frankie Bitch. No, I'm sorry. So it was a pretty match. Another 2.5 minute garbage fest. But hey, Christiane XO hit a stratosphere. Has Frankie in trouble. She escapes a fireman's carry, but that earned her an axe kick. Almost looked like a famouser. 1, 2, 3. Christiane XO gets her first win in Ring of Honor. Joy! And, that's that. Alright, after that, we go to, I think it was a tag match. If I can get my notes to work. We got TMDK taking on members of the Don Callis family. And, that's that. I mean, some of this show was just like, what is this garbage? You know? So it's just bad. This whole show, the whole promotion is kind of bad. So I mean, we move on and see what happens with that. Alright, let me get my backup notes set up. Because now, they're going all over the place, goddammit. We were saying this was a good show. I don't even think it was that great. Alright, so we had Roppongi Vice, Lucky the Mero Essay, and Trent. Taking on Bad Dude Tito. And Shane Haste, we all know him. This was actually what am I doing here? This is actually a pretty good match. I'm gonna get to the end of the match if I can. 11 minute match, almost 11-11 make a wish, but it was 11-12, so you can't make a wish. Your food is ready. To get back up, Mark Davis run, what was it, six-man tag team, actually. Mark Davis runs Bad Dude Tito over for a near fall, pulling Shane Haste out of the corner for a pile driver! And then Strong Zero sends, the other member of, TMDK, Robbie Nichols, I believe, outside, but Bad Dude Tito is back up, gets Latiato for a near fall, and then Mark Davis with another pile driver and on Bad Dude Tito gets the win for the Doghouse family. This was actually a pretty decent match. Nothing great about it. I mean, nothing great, but still decent. And I think that was the main event. I think this was the main event, I think. Yes, it was the main event of the show, so there you go. So, Ring of Honor, I'm gonna give Ring of Honor 6 out of 10. It was just what it is, and that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I am out of here. I'm gonna grab a sandwich, because I am hungry. So I didn't want a big dinner, you know, and this is gonna be getting up for a late night snack pretty soon. I'm gonna try to see if she wants a late night snack. Not that late night snack, you fuckers. Maybe she does want that. I don't know. You know how weird she is. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna have a late night snack. Then I'm gonna try to get my AEW Dynamite and Collision review up before I go to bed. And then we'll get ready for Monday Night Raw tomorrow. I might have a video late in the afternoon, because I do have to have therapy tomorrow. And alright, so probably before Raw, I might do a video, maybe the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame inductees video I've been meaning to put up on Metal God 669. Then get you ready for Monday Night Raw, and maybe late tomorrow night we'll do Monday Night Raw review. Kind of get on a normal pace, but I mean we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm very busy, so I apologize for the lateness of the videos and the reviews, but I try to get as much as I can in the amount of time I have, because I am tired. I am, busy, because I'm usually out, on Sundays, but this weekend hasn't been, wasn't great because I've been feeling kind of sick. You can hear in my voice, my nose is kind of still a little stuffy. I gotta take my cough medicine pretty soon. So I'm gonna do that. Have a sandwich. Maybe watch a little. I'm gonna watch LFG. Maybe I gotta watch. I'm gonna try to rewatch the second part of the Von Erich story. Then I'm gonna watch LFG, and then maybe watch Greatest Moments with Rowdy Piper. And I don't know the second episode. I forgot what it was. That's the 11:30 episode, which is pretty much on night now. So we got that. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, after this long video, which you watch the entire thing, I hope. And if not, well, too bad. So TNA 7 out of 10 stars, Ring of Honor 6 out of 10. But let me know what you guys think of the shows down below in the comment section. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, so I might be back with one more video, like I said, with Dynamite and Collision. Then, tomorrow, probably get the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame video up on Metal God. Then, your Monday Night Raw review, as we start the first official week of May. And May the 4th be with you tomorrow. So, all you Star Wars buffs, have fun. And if you don't like Star Wars, well, that's too bad. If you like Spaceballs, even better. May the Schwartz be with you. So, we got that. So, have fun tomorrow. Have fun Tuesday and Wednesday, as it's May the 5th and 6th. So, Sith Lord days on Tuesday and Wednesday. Tomorrow is Star Wars Day. So, enjoy that, my friends. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, may the 4th be with you, and may the Schwartz be with you. Bartholomew says, peace.